The accelerated liver cleanse. On a daily basis, we are being bombarded by so many things that our bodies are not meant to be taking on. Our ancestors had these great livers and kidneys to filter all of their very few toxins that they were exposed to, but nowadays we are in a different world. We are getting a heavy dose of unhealthy chemicals, toxins, preservatives, metals, antibiotics, hormones, genetically modified organisms, and other harmful substances from our air, our food, our water supply, even if we are doing everything in our power to eat organic and do all the right thing. And as time goes on, the amount of those toxins have increased exponentially, even just in the last 3 years. One of the main responsibilities of the liver is to remove these toxins and dangerous substances. And it does this by producing bile that binds up these poisons and removes them safely. However, if the liver is overburdened with too many toxins, becomes backed up, the clogged liver will lead to a long list of symptoms. And there's this tipping point where it says, I quit, I can't do anymore. And you have a whole bunch of symptoms. I've noticed that for me, I was able to do liver cleanses twice a year and be fine. And that was, just even 2 years ago. Now I'm doing them every like 4 to 6 weeks. And every single time I get right back. I see a drop in my water retention. My metabolism shoots up. I literally feel my thyroid turn on. My sugar cravings decrease. My bloat disappears. My energy goes up and my skin clears up. Yes, I can have skin issues at the age of 48. When I'm only supposed to have wrinkles and no acne, there can be acne or whiteheads or blackheads in my skin if I'm not taking care of my liver. So why do you want to complete a liver cleanse? You've got the heavy metals, lead, mercury, aluminum. I was off the charts in all of these, and that was 10 years ago. Those are the heavy metals that are entering our bodies through the water, the air, the food sources. These toxic metals can lead to a spectrum of issues: neurological issues, gastrointestinal issues, cardiovascular issues, kidney and liver damage, respiratory issues, bone health issues, infertility, immune system suppression, cancer, chronic illnesses. I actually just learned that it's one of the top reasons for Parkinson's disease. Next is radiation. The exposure to non-ionizing and ionizing radiation, which has shot up significantly in the last 3 years, disrupts our health by increasing insulin resistance without eating a bite of chocolate. Affects the nervous system, the endocrine system, hormonal system. That's where you get the estrogen dominance, the man boobs, the unexplained weight gain. And the radiation elevates oxidative stress, which is the #1 ager, and contributes to free radical damage. The surge in radiation exposure from 5G technology, smart meters, computers, smartphones, and nuclear incidences like just last week in August of 2023, the Fukushima power plant's treated radioactive water was released. You guys, this is serious. It's affecting all of our iodine sources out in Asia. That's why acceleradine is only sourced from South America. Something to think about. Most iodine sources come from the Asias. So these things are happening, and there are a lot of things that are happening that we're not being told, that's not in the news. Then you have the dietary toxins. Our food and water supplies have seen a substantial rise in toxins. The GMOs, the glyphosate, this is from the industrial farming processes. They have highly toxic compounds called dioxins, which accumulate in the food chain and fat tissues of conventionally raised animals. That's why I'm all about wild meat, you guys. It's a big deal. Furthermore, the halogens such as fluoride, bromide, chlorine have infiltrated our water and our food, obstructing both liver function and iodine receptor sites across all of the 100 trillion cells in the body, including the thyroid, which is responsible for your metabolism and fat burning. Then you've got the xenoestrogens. And if you want to learn more about this, refer to my article on sarabantahealth.com about estrogen dominance. These synthetic compounds found in sources like plastics, pesticides, industrial chemicals have a profound impact on the liver. They're estrogen-like substances that mimic the actions of natural estrogen, disrupting that delicate hormonal balance. When the xenoestrogens enter the liver, they can overwhelm the detoxification process. And the liver's main role is to metabolize and eliminate these toxins out of the body when exposed to excessive xenoestrogens. But then it struggles to effectively process and remove these, especially with all of the other things that it's being bombarded with, right? So the liver's vulnerability increases. Then you add in the processed foods. The adverse impact of processed foods is huge, right? We are being just bombarded, and it is normal to eat processed foods. 67% of a child's diet is processed foods. 62% of an adult's diet is processed foods. These are not real foods. They're backing up our liver. They're full of inflammatory seed oils, GMO grains, artificial sweeteners, and then they're taught, or they're tricking our body into actually craving more and causing an addiction. Then you add in the spike protein. The impact of the spike protein has been widespread, yes, but it is causing a disruption in the liver by interfering with the conversion of the ACE2 receptor. And this can result in unexpected weight gain, fluid retention, irregular insulin levels, cognitive fog, fertility issues, and increased inflammation. So this is all new, you guys. With a staggering 62% of the average adult's diet coming from processed foods, the rate of insulin resistance goes up, and insulin resistance at the level of the liver is type 2 diabetes. So what do we do about it? Well, first, signs that your liver is not functioning. Unexplained weight gain, sluggishness, nausea, poor fat and protein metabolism, hormonal imbalances, fat accumulation that is new, lower energy, man boobs in men, low metabolism and thyroid function, fatty liver, insulin resistance, high uric acid, acne, like I mentioned, and waking up in the middle of the night around 3 to 4 a.m. That is a sign. When the liver's becoming overloaded, it can't work. So over 45% of adults have fatty liver, not just the alcoholics anymore, you guys. 25% of children have fatty liver. Children don't drink alcohol. This is more than ever. So what are you getting out of a liver flush? You're flushing out gallstones on the last day, hundreds to thousands in the toilet. You actually see them, and you see that progress. You can eliminate pain, cramps, inflammation. It's going to help lower your AST and ALT liver enzyme counts on your blood test. Your doctor's going to be happy. It's going to help replace those damaged liver cells with healthy ones, eliminate all those toxins and pollutants, and reverse any drug or alcohol damage to the liver, or help do so. Helps improve digestion, helps improve the ACE2 receptor function that's been compromised by the spike protein, reduce water retention, actually reduces frustration and anger. Did you know you hold your frustration and anger in your liver? You hold your resentment in your gallbladder, so that's going to help be alleviated as well. And you're going to flush out those unhealthy cholesterol deposits and so much more. So what is in the accelerated liver flush cleanse? You've got 2 bottles of the liver forte, which can be taken on its own just to have daily support for the liver. But when you add in the malic acid, this goes to your liver, and the malic acid helps break down the gallstones and the liver stones, prepping it for that last day of the flush. It is a really great combination, and the malic acid also is used with the stone clearing for helping with kidney stones. Then you have the accelerated cellular detox powder, which we call the gut superhero. This is, it's got 6 organic ingredients in it. It helps effectively absorb and neutralize the toxins you're shedding through the detox with the Liverol Forte and the malic acid. And then it also helps with regularity, reduces bloat, and helps get all the toxins out from the past and from that day. We enhance it with scalar frequencies to help with alleviating emotional and physical shock from the body and helping with the detoxification of pesticides and insecticides, and also getting rid of the heavy metals and radiation. So then lastly is the OxyClear. Now this can be taken on a daily basis, 1 or 2 pills just for bowel movements, but this is meant for the last day to support that flush and really create diarrhea to get the stones out and make sure you have nothing blocking that passage for those stones to come out. So you can use it on that last day, but then, like I said, you can also use it for just the everyday purposes to help with bowel movements. So you're going to be taking the liver Forte and the Liverol Forte and the malic acid on a daily basis for 2 weeks, and then on that and with the accelerated cellular detox powder at night, and then you do the flush on the last day, which you will get instructions to go through that. So super important, and I've made it so much easier to do. Even my kids do it, my husband does it, and I'm doing it almost on a monthly basis just because it feels so good and it's so easy. When you add in the other supplements from the Ascent Diet Cleanse, like the Acceleradine Iodine and the Accelerated Thyroid, the Accelerated Keto, those 3 especially, those are pumping up your energy, helping lower your insulin resistance, helping you intermittent fast easier. And that is actually going to help the liver flush go much smoother. So you might want to add those in or do the full Ascent Diet Cleanse altogether. If you have any questions, ask them in the Telegram group. The link is below. I always love answering your questions, and I post articles and videos on a daily basis to teach you so that you can control your health and not depend on anyone else.